Hello, everyone. This is Joe Pusateri, and I am living the sober life. I just want to remind everyone that if you like what we're doing on this channel, please, 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 please do a couple of things. Like the video, comment on the video, share the video if you so choose, and subscribe. These are things that help promote what we do. It helps increase our exposure into other places so that when people search for recovery topics, they will find our channel, and it will be greatly appreciated. Also, feel free in the comments to let us know what it is that you like, don't like, would like to see, have any questions about. We'd be more than happy to respond and maybe even create a video around those topics or questions. So anyway, without further ado, I'd like to talk right now about step 6. And as a reminder, step 6 is became entirely ready to have God remove these defects of character. All right, so what do we mean defects of character? Well, in steps 4 and 5, we uncover and identify character defects. It might not seem when we start out with those steps that that's what we're going to be doing, but in the course of doing inventories and in the course of discussing these things with our sponsor, we find that there are a number of things about ourselves that we would like to be rid of, or that we should want to be rid of. Among them are jealousy, fear, anxiety, certain things related to our resentment. So the 6th step is became entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. Now, why in the world is that even a step? Because if you think about it, it's like, well, okay, if I have character defects, of course I'm going to want God to remove them, right? I mean, that doesn't even have to be a step in and of itself. Au contraire. You see, it's very difficult to let go of character defects. And in fact, there is a book which says that this is the step which separates the men from the boys and the women from the girls. Why? Because it takes a whole lot of spiritual maturity to actually become entirely ready to have God remove these defects of character. And the reason is twofold. Number one, we know that we can't be perfect. And so if we know that we can't be perfect, and yet we are asking God, or we're prepared to ask God to make us better, it would be easy to justify lazy action in stepping off the gas and not being too urgent about improving our character, because after all, nobody's perfect. So what's the big rush? So it takes a lot of spiritual maturity, knowing that we cannot be perfect, to still do the rigorous work that is necessary to become people of higher moral character, people that are better fathers and brothers, mothers and sisters, sons and daughters, citizens, etc., etc. So, became entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. The second reason that this is a difficult step is because these character defects have kind of been what we understand ourselves to be. So in essence, I mean, when you live your life with a certain level of fear, or you live your life with a certain distorted perception of reality, if you let go of that, you are stepping into the unknown. And there's a phrase that sometimes the devil that we know is better than the devil that we don't. So what's going to happen if I let go all of my defects of character? For an example that I've read before, maybe you have too, is that nobody wants to be so angry that they murder people, but we like to hang on to a little anger, don't we? Because after all, when somebody has wronged us and we are in the right, we all enjoy that feeling of moral superiority that we have over other people, don't we? You know, nobody wants to be so lustful that they get into bad situations, but a little bit of lust is okay, isn't it? I mean, I want to have some kind of romantic life. And becoming entirely ready to have God remove these defects of character really means that we are stepping into the unknown, and that we are willing to let God have all of us, every single bit of us, every part of us, and let God do with us what God wants to do rather than what we want to do. So really, the readiness to do this comes from a desire to let go of our own lives, which is difficult to do, and to give up control of our lives to a power greater than ourselves. And the sixth step is sometimes misunderstood as just a thing that you do right after your fifth step, where you go and you pray, you review things, and then you say a little prayer in the seventh step to ask God to remove the defects of character, and then go on to your eighth and ninth step. But in fact, six and seven is kind of a lifelong process. And step six is becoming ready and willing to let go of who we think we are, and let go of the way we've seen the world, and let go of all of our resentments and anxieties and fears and frustrations and so forth, so that God could do something with us. And then step seven is actually letting them go. And it is harder than you think, but it's worth it. In the process, I think we develop a conscience. In the process, we begin to hear the voice of God, or the voice of reason, or the voice of whatever higher power telling us what it is that we should do in any given situation. And so long as we obey that and we're rigorous about our sixth and seventh step, that voice will continue to get louder and louder and give us clearer direction in our lives. Okay. So, step six, it doesn't always get the attention that it should, but it's a wonderful step, and I hope that you've enjoyed this. Again, if you like these videos, please, 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 please help support us. And the way that you can help support us is by doing four things, or some of these four things: liking the video, commenting on the video, sharing the video, and subscribing to the channel. And just doing those little things, which doesn't take a whole lot of effort, helps increase our visibility in YouTube and other search engines, so that people who are looking for content like this can help find us. And again, if you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave those in the comment section below. We will see those, we will respond to those, and it will be greatly appreciated. All right, thank you. This is Joe Pusateri, living the sober life. Goodbye. And I will probably cut all of this stuff out here. Oh gosh, what might be they be? Fears, resentments, jealousies, insecurities. Those are the kinds of things that we want to let go of.